Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys and girls. We're out on a little crappie pond, crappie perch bass, so warm water species pond, and it's very shallow. It's 7 feet or less from what I found. So we're gonna go out into the deepest spot, one of the spots that I found last year. Just doing some videos for a sponsor, and let's go see if we can find them. But this, like, it is shallow, so it has plenty of ice usually. I'm only in 6 feet, as you guys can see, and I'll show you what I'm looking at here in a second. It takes a little bit to get used to, especially when I'm running the screen kind of dirty because I'm just being lazy. But so here's the bottom. It's a weedy, silty bottom, weedy, muddy bottom probably. And these things that are flickering are fish. 1, 2, 3. There's probably more than that over there. And there's a big crappie, big perch, bluegills, and pickerel in here, just like the main species that we have here in New Hampshire for warm water ponds, and probably bullhead too, if I was to guess, which are our catfish, as we call them, brown bullhead. Oh, here they are, right below me. Oh my goodness. Freaking feisty perch, almost yanked the rod out of my hand. Feisty yellow perch, nice colors. And so I'm using the Alpha 29 by Circle Tackle. This is their kind of like their top end panfish rod. So it's got that super sensitive tip. It's flat, it's neon in color. It's got a lot of backbone, so you can set the hook into to bass and stuff like that. It's got actual reel seat on it, cork, and then I'm using the PC Fun ICX Carbon, which is an inline reel. What's cool about this reel is it's got 3 different settings to drop, so you can drop like that. It'll click forward, that'll drop. You can pull back, that'll drop, and then you can push forward and that will drop. And what I like about, like, especially jigging in shallow water, you jigging up and down, it spins that jig around, spins it back around. If you're using just normal spinning gear or a spinning reel, every time you reel up, you're spinning up that line. It's just inherent, so you get a lot less line twist. And bluegills and stuff, and especially crappie, if that jig is spinning, that's not natural for them unless it's like a dying shiner or something like that to have that spinning motion. They usually won't bite it. Not always, sometimes they will, but so the least amount of spinning, the better. So I keep seeing a lot of them, a whole school of them, 35 feet that way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up and go that way. So one of the things that I like to do that I don't always do, but I usually with somebody else, is we'll start in the middle of the basin and we'll just drill a grid pattern all around us. And what that does is it allows us to see where the fish are, run over there with the sled, which makes some noise, but not as much noise as the auger. So we drill a bunch of holes, get our pattern kind of laid out, and then we can just hole hop and prevent the auger from scaring the fish. So I might have to do that here in a minute, but we're gonna drag over to where we started from. They're not crappy or anything, but they'll do. The hog yellow perch in this lake pond are ridiculous. Just hog yellows right there. They're just like so aggressive when you find them. They just like always hit. Now they're all 30 feet that way. Oh, right there. Small perch. Small perch. Just a little small one. I actually hand lined him in because I'm not in that much water, but we're gonna drop down and see if they're still there. These big ones instantly just get wrapped up in everything. Nice one. But here's like a mutation. Look at how many stripes that thing has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 striper. seem to be on those edges a little bit more. There's probably a weed edge over there that I can't see. Oh, there's a bass or something. Chilling right in the ghost tree, of course. So all of those things that are flickering right there are fish. So here's the bottom of the water column. The jagged edge stuff. Anything that's flickering is fish. All this stuff up here is just basically noise from the sonar. And all I'm using is this little like zebra chartreuse and white jig with a little tipped with a little bit of worm on it. That's it. And that's from Circle Tackle. Same guy, same company that makes the rods. 35 feet. Let's go over there. This is the glory of having all the holes pre-drilled. One of the most frustrating things about Livescope is they're marching right towards me, or it looks like they are, and then if they veer off out of that 20-degree cone angle, which is, so you take, 90 degrees, and then you take that in half and split it 45, and then you take that again and you split it again, that's about 20. I got a fish coming up to me right now. Come on. Little tiny bluegill. But yeah, 20 degrees, 90 degrees, then you go to 45, and then you do half of 45. It's a pretty skinny cone. It's wide as far as sonars go, but then I'm shooting 135 degrees that way, so I'm shooting out, 24 feet right now on the screen. But if they hop out of that thing, it looks like they're disappearing, but I have to track them down with a sonar and see if they get right underneath me. That's the issue with fishing in shallow water. I could put a perspective mode in. Oh, one right here. Oh, no. I spooked him. Another hog perch. Another hog perch. And they're just so aggressive. That's what makes this little pond fun. Got one right there at 10. And casting in a pond like this would be just insane. I should come here in my canoe or kayak. This is not a my size boat launchable place. There he is. If they stop like that and they see how he's backpedaling, he's right there in that little spot. Probably a bass. Bet you if I drop down a shiner, he'd eat it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, he's fired. That could be a crappie. Holy crap, that's a big freaking perch, guys. That thing is an absolute tank. That's the size of the perch that I've been looking to get right there. That is a mondo right there. And before I drop him down, I'm gonna catch another one. He wants to chase it, come on. All right, sending you back down. That spooks him. That is so cool to see him spook. And kind of annoying at the same time. I was just about to move, guys. Just about to move. And the problem with chasing is I'm spending time not fishing, and drilling spooks him. So yeah, there's definitely just a little bit of deeper depression over there. That's a big fish. 14 feet away. Right there. And that's not far. In the grand scheme of things, that's, if you take your arms and spread them, so middle finger to middle finger, tip to tip is as tall as you are, plus or minus like an inch. So you can kind of like pace that out, or with my height, about one pace is about 3 feet, so I can walk 5 steps. Oh, that is a big freaking fish right there. Come on. Oh my goodness. Another jumbo. He's so fat. I want my worm back. Open up. Just gonna wait for them fish to come back. Oh, there's one right there. 14 feet away. Cruising on over. Whoa, that was probably a crappie. That thing came and screamed out of there. And what I'm doing, instead of using a loop knot, since I'm so shallow, is I'm just using a normal clinch knot, and I'm making sure that jig is setting parallel. So this is the bottom of the lake or pond. We want it to be parallel with that, not perpendicular. Let's drill over. They seem to be coming a lot from this direction, so let's actually drill over there. But a lot of these panfish species have what's called, I call them highways in the weeds. So right now it's not very weedy where we are, but if we go into the weeds, they'll use those weeds as basically a little tiny highway. There'll be spots in areas where you can see from Google Earth where there's not weeds, and they'll go in and out of the weeds and use those as basically roads. And so if you're in one of those spots, you can just stay there and wait for those fish to come back around. With Livescope, I get pretty impatient because I can see where they are. And I'm like, oh, let's go chase them down. And then they spook, and then we're back to square one again. All right, we're gonna go 30 feet that way. They're all over there right now. Nah. Another one. It's basically hand lining these fishing because it's so freaking shallow. But he came and sniffed it from the opposite direction, which they tend to do a lot today. They come from basically behind my sonar angle, which I'm not against, obviously. Yay! Last fish of the day. All right, all right. Squirming little buggers. All right, last fish of the day, guys and girls. Going back down. Thank you very much for watching. We didn't find any of the crappies, but that's okay. This spot is not a hot crappie spot, but that's all right. We hammered some big perch. And this was plan B. When I go out, I always have a plan A and a plan B. Like pond-wise, if the fishing's not good at one spot, then I'll move. I have like a first spot and a second spot, and sometimes even a C plan, basically. Go somewhere else completely. So that's what we did today. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you want to continue to support the channel, besides watching on YouTube, you can visit benefishing.company.site, and that's where I can ship you some baits and stuff like that. I didn't use any of my baits today, mainly because we were just pan fishing, and these are a little bit smaller. For the crappie, I do use a 7mm jig that I sell. So thanks for watching. Until next time. Trying to release 2 videos a week, so stay tuned.